Thank you all very much. Listen, I don't want to tempt fate, because clearly lots of results are still coming in and we're still only dealing with projections. But at this stage, it does look as though this one nation Conservative government has been given a powerful new mandate to get Brexit done.
Nice touch having unzipping Elmo there behind him. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson celebrating his party's apparent victory at the polls a short time ago. Exit polls showing Johnson remaining at 10 Downing Street, picking up a much larger majority inside Parliament. A look at the morning papers from the UK. The left-leaning Daily Mirror declares nightmare before Christmas. Guardian with just the news. Exit poll predicts huge majority for Johnson. On the right, the Daily Mail says rejoice. Boris set for thumping win. BBC reporting the Tories are planning a ferocious acceleration in efforts to get Brexit done, to crash England out of the EU. Jeremy Corbyn also spoke after the resounding win for Johnson, announcing, quote, "I will not lead the party in any future general election." Luckily for him, the party probably would have arrived at that same conclusion. Up early for us in London with the very latest is our own Cal Perry. And Cal, I've got to say, it appears from here like most of the charges of malpractice are going right to the left, right to Jeremy Corbyn. This is from Larry Sabato at the University of Virginia, mind you. Just one question for Labour. How could you have been stupid enough to think Jeremy Corbyn could ever win a general election? And that's the question that pays tonight, Cal.
Yeah, and they're saying it is the worst defeat since 1935, and a lot has happened in Europe since 1935, and they're blaming, as you said, Jeremy Corbyn. He is an incredibly unpopular leader. On the scale of popularity, he was at a -44, and that is what people are talking about. We're here in ITV News headquarters. This is Election HQ, and at 5:45 in the morning, it looks like you would expect weary and dreary staff. They're going to probably break this thing around me as we go. The polls were wrong, Brian. Not a surprise there, I suppose. If you look at recent election history, Boris Johnson's party was supposed to win somewhere between 300 and 330 seats. It's looking right now like around 360. As you said, Brexit is basically a done deal now. January 31st, the UK will crash out. The question now is, what are the more reverberating effects? Scotland, SNP right now, Scotland National Party, about 48 seats, London about 45 seats. There will be likely a referendum on Scottish independence in the coming year. So the story here is partly what will happen to the United Kingdom. You mentioned Jeremy Corbyn. Take a look at what a landslide looks like, what an earthquake election looks like. Steve Kornacki is going to be very jealous. We're talking about these swings here. It looks like what you would see in the U.S. in, for example, 2010, when we had those House seats swing away from Democrats. That's what happened. And the geography is very similar to what we see in the U.S. We're talking about London was a place where Labour did well, but in the countryside, we saw the Conservatives make major gains. This is one of those elections where you redraw the map in the United Kingdom. And again, I can't put a fine enough point on this. The maps in your children's bedrooms are likely going to be wrong by next year if Scotland splits away. That's going to be the story in the morning papers, Brian. One other thing worth mentioning. The press here in this country, the attitude, the environment of this election was incredibly ugly. And Boris Johnson tapped into a simple message: get Brexit done. You heard him finishing his speech tonight. Get Brexit done. A lot of people said it was dull. A lot of people said it was a simple message. It worked.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.